Peace, everybody. Before we get into this new episode, don't forget September 14th, where tomorrow's on promise. It's a hell of a story. You won't be disappointed. You'll learn more about me. You'll learn a lot more about me. The reason why I'm here today, being able to tell you guys that story. So, with tomorrow's on promise, September 14th, we be there. Peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome to What's in Your Glass. As you know, I'm your host, Carmelo Anthony. Before we get going, though, let's first welcome today's guest. You know him as one of the best shooters in NBA history, three-time NBA champ, two-time NBA MVP, and a seven-time All-Star. Please welcome to the show, Steph Curry. We ain't got no
Appreciate
sound
it.
effects
Yeah, I
right
know
now. We got the sound
Hey,
effects right now, though, kid.
we
But
can hype
we
each
all
other
good.
up. That's fine.
Indeed,
That's
indeed.
fine.
I don't know if you drinking anything. Oh, you got water. It looked like water.
I got
Okay.
some Savion Blanc.
I like that. I like that. What time
Yes.
is it's 3 o'clock where you at?
Yeah, I got the workout in this morning at like 6:30, so I was done at like 10. So
Yeah.
about 4 hours. I got the body calmed down for about 4 hours, and then as you know, with kids running around, this comes in handy.
Absolutely. Oh, indeed, especially at this time, especially at 3 o'clock time right now.
Straight
So
up, straight up.
explain, kind of give a brief description of to the people, the listeners of what you're drinking.
So this is a little domain curry. So my wife and my sister, Aisha and Sadell Curry, respectively, they started their first vintage probably in 2018. So going on 3 years now. I got the Sauvignon Blanc right here, but they have a Cabernet Sauvignon working on some other selections that hopefully will come to life pretty soon. So it's we keep it in the family right now. I know a lot of good choices out there. We keep it in the family with the Domaine Curry.
As you should. So big shout out to the Curry family for sure, man. Me personally being in the wine game, love to see, others, and my colleagues, and they, doing the wine thing, doing their family thing within the wine business and creating that space and just bringing more to the wine space. I'm
Mm-hmm.
drinking. This is new to me. It's called Racine's from Santa Rita Hills.
Okay.
This is a Pinot Noir 2017. I like it. I enjoy it. The shit tastes good to
You
me.
got the. I'm about
Uh,
to say you got the cherry notes. You got a little something light.
yeah,
You got the.
I'm gonna put the description on after. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna
I
be
got
after.
you.
I'm gonna put the description in post. But for the most part, it was sent to me to taste out, to check it out. So
That's the best part about the
whoever sent it
wines.
to me, I appreciate you guys. It tastes incredible so far.
No
So
doubt.
um, let's get to it, Steph.
Yes, sir.
Kind of kicking things off, um, and talking all things wine right now. I want to start off um, with Domaine Curry, like your wife Aisha, um, and Sister Sadell, like you said, are in the wine game. Can you tell us a little bit just about their story, how they get into the wine game, how this idea started? What was it? What was that moment?
Yeah, I mean, it was an idea that was kind of half baked for a while. And honestly, being out here in the Bay, this is our, man, it's my 12th year in the league. We've been
Time
out
is
here for,
flying. Time is flying.
we probably guess it was, I remember the first workouts I had back in the day at Georgia Tech when I was shadowing you.
Indeed.
It was 12 years ago. It's crazy, '09. But like being out here in the Bay and being so close to Napa, Sonoma, and the works, there's always like ideas and options about how to do it. My wife and my sister were very patient with the process. Um, one of what they want to do and who they want to do it with, and so they have a amazing business partner, a guy named John Schwartz, who has a winery called Amuse Bouche, and they kind of started to riff on what type of wine that they wanted to make, what they really wanted to get behind, and really understand what the process was like. Because anybody, I guess, can put your name on something, but it's different when you're about that, the behind the scenes, and really do the blending, go to the vineyards, understand, how the grapes are grown, the whole process, so that it's sustainable, not just something that comes and goes. And so They they found the time was right about 4 years ago, and did their first blend. And the name was cool, um, just because obviously the Curry name, but for Domaine Curry, and it was an inspiration. It's on the bottle on the back. It talks about Proverbs 31, and the power of the woman, and it's a very cool analogy around how grapes are grown in the in the vine,
Absolutely.
and they wanted to kind of bring that to life. So there's a story behind it. It's been growing ever since. The wine industry it's me kind of getting schooled on it through their process. I know how difficult it is to kind of stand out. But once you do, and you start to get in the right places and all that type of stuff, things kind of go from there. So they wanted to really just be a part of the whole process, and not just at the end say, oh, this is, we're going to slap our name on a bottle, and here you go.
Yeah, well, it's I mean, it's all about growth too, right? And kind
Mm-hmm.
of building the legacy, right? To put Domaine Curry on the bottle, that's deeper than and more than just at the end of the process just slapping your name on there and going and try to sell it and split the profits. When you're actually building, you in tune to every step of the process. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually I'm realizing that now as I'm getting into the wine business on a not just the wine but the wine business, on what it takes to grow a business from the ground up. Like
Absolutely.
it's very difficult. That's why most people would tell you don't get in the wine game, don't spend your money in the wine. But for the
It's
for the
like,
most part, when it's yours and you own it and you can see it grow from day one to day whatever towards the end. I think that's what gives us that momentum and that confidence to be like, I'm here. Like, my shit is Domaine Curry at the end of the day. No, there ain't too many people that could call themselves Domain. Right? People don't
absolutely.
know that. People don't know, what's behind the word domain. Maybe we could get into that at another time. But for you guys to have that domain on your bottle, that's a special moment for the wine game, for the wine business, and y'all in general.
It's dope because I think there's a lot of cool analogies of, you talk about the wine industry and the wine game, also in the restaurant industry, which my wife has started to. Well, she's got about 3 restaurants, San Francisco, San Diego, and Las Vegas now. But like part of that happened all at the same time. It's a cool kind of comparison to what we do in our day jobs. All the stuff that you don't see behind the scenes, the work that's
Facts.
put into it, the film sessions, the weights, all that type of stuff, that means more to that process and what kind of commit to being great, to what they see on the court and on TV, and then when the lights are bright. It's the same kind of vibe with, like you said, growing in the industry and understanding the game, and really getting your roots into it. All the stuff that goes into what makes a perfect vintage, what makes the perfect bottle, what's the perfect story, what you pair it with, all that type of stuff. That's what I'm
Right.
really I get excited about watching their process, um, and knowing how much love they pour into it, and it's just cool. Like when you get that feedback from people who any walk of life, like, oh, I saw that bottle at such and such restaurant, it was amazing. And we're gonna buy a bunch, we'll buy a case and this and that. Like
Yeah.
those type of stories are pretty dope because they know how much time and love they pour into it.
So you left behind. You left behind. You're a little bit behind.
Yeah, I'm the taste tester. I went to 2 or 3 wine blending sessions. I only remember one of them, if you know what I mean. So,
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
so it was. I got the best job in the world from the wine and for the restaurant industry. Aisha's cookbooks. I get to just taste and give my feedback, and then kind of step back.
Indeed.
So
So how is so you gonna do the step back anyway? So on the court or off, on the court or off the court. So that's your last part of your lifestyle. What
straight up.
how is it in the household when it how big is wine in the household? Is it just like we do wine and we do that on our time when we home, or is it like nonstop? Because you got wine, culinary,
Yeah,
sports. You like that. The household is different.
it's grown. I mean, I think probably in the last 5 years, probably wine has really become a staple of the house. And sometimes it can be overwhelming when you're starting from a place where you don't know anything about it. You
You
don't
just
know
drink. You just got to
what's
drink.
a
That's it.
what's a California blend, a French. Where does it come from? It's all different. It tastes the same. Trying to understand the whole process. But I think before, probably 5 years ago, uh, you'd have a bottle here and there, maybe. And now it's kind of funny. Like me and my wife would laugh. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It don't matter if it's lunch or dinner. It don't matter. The question is, what we cook? What we have for dinner? Make the choice. And what's gonna go with that? All right, and make sure we get it ready to go. I actually like how complex, I think, even just like preparation, like temperatures and what glass is supposed to go in and all that type of stuff. That part is, I'm still a novice at and trying to really kind of get to that mastery level where I know what I'm talking about. So like when you have like a dinner party or something, you come over and be like, all right, do the whole presentation. I don't got to put the napkin over my arm, but like do that whole presentation. Cause that to me is like the dopest thing when you go to a winery or you go to somebody who knows, like that whole presentation, just the experience that they give you. You can tell just how much history goes in is in this world. That's just ready for you to kind of participate in. So that for me is the dope part about it, because I feel like I learn something new every day. Even like you say, like that's the best part of it. People send you bottles and hey, try this, or do you like this? And you start to get your collection right. So
Indeed.
trying to grow it slowly but surely.
I used to find that so intriguing, right? The fact that you can go to a restaurant and they come over there and you whether you with somebody or you hear somebody else and they just going like they know exactly what they want. They go to the exact page in the wine on the wine menu. They know the year that they want. They know why they want that. They know what they eating. So I had to self educate myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to really go through the process and really put in the work because I never wanted to be in the room where I didn't know much, right? I wanted to also be engaged in the conversations and learning, but also understanding what I'm drinking and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I always thought that was dope when the song come over with the way. I always wanted to do it. I don't have that yet. I don't have that.
But
Let
you
me.
appreciate how much time has gone in for them to get
Oh,
that
absolutely. It's
certification,
similar
which
to
I didn't.
us.
I didn't know that going in. Like, that's a coveted job, and like it takes a while of the education, and I respect it so much. To your point, because you make you
Man,
feel good, make you feel confident. Like, hey,
absolutely.
just
I
ask you
used
the
to
right
I
question.
used to I wanted to learn that so much, right? On what the Psalms had to go through from a mental standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching the documentary Psalm. This was the first one that came out years ago. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, like I did not know they have to go through all of this to not even make it. Like it's like they encourage, right? They motivated to just get there. Even if it's
Mm-hmm.
they reach level 2 or level 3 out of 12 or whatever, that's a lot when you first learning the game. So I always said, you know what, I'm gonna teach myself how to get to level 3. You know what I'm saying? I could
That's the
tell you the
competitor in you for sure.
absolutely. I could tell you the grapes. I could tell you, a little bit of the terroir. I could tell you the region until we get to Italy. And Italy got too many
And
different.
then
It's too many. They got their own wine menu in
they
the, in
got
the, in
their
the
own
restaurant.
world. Yeah.
What's your favorite wine currently outside of Domaine Curry? What's your favorite wine?
Uh, Tignanello for sure, and part of that is because like that's the thing. Music's one where you can remember a moment in your life where you were, who you were with, what you were feeling. Wine is becoming like that for me now,
Indeed, absolutely.
where who like celebrations, special occasions, milestones, whatever. Like you celebrate with wine now, and it's like, I mean, that's Team USA probably had the 1942 or the Lobos, but other than that, uh, you always have you always have a good bottle of wine on deck for a major celebration. So me and Draymond had a nice bottle of Tignanello in where were we in OKC in the most random. He brought it in from the most random hotel in OKC, and we were celebrating, personal milestone in terms of what we had accomplished together. And for me, I would think it was the time I passed Wilt Chamberlain on the Warriors all-time scoring list, or whatever. That
Yeah,
was
that
what we
was
did.
something light, something light,
Something
just
light, something I had to
something
throw that
light,
in there. So
something light.
we threw it. To take another, we threw that in there, and like that. So that's become my new favorite wine. Trying to get my collection right where I can enjoy that. That's it's a little steep bottle, so I gotta pick and choose my spots. But
So Tigniello it is. This episode of What's in Your Glass is brought to you by our friends at Freshly. We're all trying to get in shape and eat right, and Freshly can help. Their delicious meals are designed by nutritionists and cooked by chefs, making it easier to eat better. Grocery shopping and cooking can be a pain, especially right now. And with Freshly, you don't have to. Your meals arrive cooked and fresh every week, so you can keep your fridge stocked and skip the trip to the store. Ordering is easy. Visit freshly.com and choose from over 30 delicious, satisfying, better for you meals like steak popcorn, sausage baked penne, or their chicken pesto bowl. Freshly can fit your lifestyle with a variety of plans and meals to pick from that work for your dietary needs, preferences, tastes, and family size. And now, my listeners can try Freshly for just $6.16 per meal. Stop searching the internet for healthy food near me every night and start living life freshly. Your meals are always delivered fresh, never frozen, and are ready to heat and enjoy in just 3 minutes. With new meals added each week, Freshly brings the convenience of chef-made, nutrition-designed classics right to your kitchen. Right now, Freshly is offering our listeners $40 off your first 2 orders when you go to freshly.com/glass. Stop stressing about dinner. Go to freshly.com/glass for $40 off your first 2 orders. That's freshly.com/glass for $40 off your first 2 orders. Let's switch gears a little bit to your show, right? Let's talk about your show. Holy Moly, right?
yeah,
Like, how did your interest in golf like lead to the creation of the show?
it was very kind of out of the blue. I think I've been playing golf since I was 10. It's something me and my dad love to do. And then my brother plays a little bit. He's playing a lot more now. So I kind of grew up balancing basketball and golf. Like when the basketball season, well, the basketball season was all year round, but golf was always something in the springtime I love to play. Even when I got to the leagues, play 2 or 3 times a week during the summer. Um, and then you start to find ideas about ways to kind of grow the game in a fun way because there's a lot of growth that needs to happen in that area in terms of making golf more fun, younger, kind of destigmatizing the culture of golf a little bit. And so there's a production company named Eureka who was out of Australia who had a similar concept down there, and they approached a media company and said, "Hey, we have this IP. We're thinking about bringing it to the States. Like, you love golf and want to kind of think about it a different and unique way, kind of balancing mini golf with Wipeout with like American Gladiator. It's like the perfect combination of all three and something that the whole family can sit down and watch, whether
Over
you
a
play
glass of
golf or
wine.
not."
Over a glass of wine. Over a
Absolutely.
glass
It
of
makes
wine.
it even better. And so trying to bring that to life. And so, next thing you know, Holy Moly season 1, it was kind of a hit. Now we're already on season 3. Got season 4 picked up by ABC already. So it's pretty dope to see the reaction of a wild idea. Like if you watch it, like, what am I watching? But it's comedy, it's family fun. And for me, it's like, let's make golf fun. So
Right.
it was dope.
So you first of all, congratulations on that. Definitely. I mean, it's hard to get, 1 season greenlit, a pilot greenlit, let
Absolutely.
alone 4 seasons. So congratulations on that. What drew you to golf? Like what you said since you was 10 years old you was playing golf. Was it your dad that you seen him playing with as he was
Mm-hmm.
in the league or whatever, or did you just pick it up on your own? Like what drew you to golf?
My dad introduced me to it. So I used to go. He used to play this public course called Charlotte Golf Links when he was playing for the Hornets. And I remember going out there when I was probably 8 or 9, riding the golf cart, and he gave me like a little sawed-off little putter that was for my size. And all I do is just go follow him on the green, like put around. And that just slowly grew my interest in the game. I didn't really know what it was like. I just knew it was one, quality time with my pops, but also like driving a golf cart was the best thing in the world. So that's how it started. And then I played my first round, a full round, when I was like 10. And from there, the hook for me was just the self competition, the self motivation. Playing a team sport and playing basketball, like I know how much work goes into it, and you're always like pursuing perfection in your craft, and you're always trying to find a way to get better. But in basketball, for me, like you win, lose games, stuff can go your way, it can, injuries, all that type of stuff. Golf was the one that no matter how much better I thought I got, I was like one round away from being terrible. And then like you go another 2 weeks, you feel like you're getting great, and then you wake up the next day, go play, and you have no confidence at all. Like that chase, there's nothing really like that. And for me, that was something that just hooked me because I'm super competitive. There's a lot of kind of fine motor skills that I can translate from basketball to golf, and the focus and the mental toughness around it helped me in basketball. But that pursuit of like just always trying to get a little bit better and a little bit better, a little bit better, it's the most humbling sport in the world. And that for me, I'm still on that chase. I'm 33 years old and still
That's
like
why I won't play it.
that.
Cause it's too humbling. It's too humbling, right? It's too humbling, man. I'd rather go out there and fish and be on the water. I'm out
Yeah.
there just man the fish. That's it. I like to catch fish. Golf is too humbling. Like it's you really have to. You starting all over, and you said you started at 10 years old. So
Yeah.
imagine me. I'll be starting at 36, 37 years old. I ain't got that. I ain't got the patience right now for that.
But see, that's the thing. It's the one sport that I know of that you can't try harder and it's automatically going to lead to you getting better. Like I can try harder in basketball. I can run sprints faster and
Right.
I can put up more shots and I'm probably going to get better. You can't like try harder and it's guaranteed to get you better. I'm not trying to scare you off of it because it's the dopest sport in the world.
You
Like
scared
it's some,
you
no,
scared me
I
off.
had
Don't
to
worry about it. You
stop.
scared.
I had to stop. It was like, just go to Top Golf, go to the range somewhere, and get with you gotta get a little some fundamental and coaching and all that. But it's the dopest sport in the world for two reasons. Well, three reasons. One is what I just said about competition. Two, the people that you get to play with. I know you go fishing, you can hang out with your crew and all that, and choose your company. Golf's like the ones where you can meet people just at a course and you create connections and bonds. You learn a lot about people on the golf course too. Like
Indeed.
you
Indeed.
learn a lot about people's personalities. It's very revealing in that respect. And then also like if you're blessed to be able to travel places and play, um, the world is an oyster, man. There's so many dope
Oh, indeed. And
places
that's one of the things I
that design
respect.
courses.
That's one of the things I respect about the sport of golf, right? There's a course everywhere. You go, okay, you only have to know somebody to just be like, yo, let's go. I'm at the course today, or come over to the course. You can just pull up to the course and there's people there. But
Straight up.
also the traveling aspect of it, right? Being able to travel the world and go play at the best courses that's ever designed and ever invented out there and ever created with people that you probably would never ever meet before. They
Absolutely.
might DM you or something like that. You would never meet them. You would never meet them in person. So to go and play on these different design courses, like that would be the only thing for me. I would drive my golf cart if I could just go to every all the different courses and see the sightseeing and on the water and shit
You
like that.
right there, man. You right.
I'm
You talking the language. You
no, because
understand.
I've done it before. I've
I
done it
know. That's what I'm
before.
saying.
I've
It's not you're
tried it
not
before.
close from just seeing that ball fly the right way. Just one or two, three times, and you just get hooked.
I might have to. I might have to
I'm a
start with Holy
believer.
Moly first. I might have to
I'm a
start with
believer.
Holy
That's
Moly.
fine. That's fine.
You
We
know what I'm
can
saying? I
get you
might have
down
to
to the
start with that
valley, get
first.
you on the set.
So
It might not be allowed in your contract though.
yeah. After we could tape it and release it later.
Straight up.
What So speaking about traveling and meeting different people, like what foursome would you want to team up with in golf?
Wait, we talking golfers? Or we talking anybody?
Anybody. It could be anybody. Golfers, anybody.
Um, that's a great question. I've played with him before, but he's an automatic invite. Like he's just the most fascinating person in the world in terms of, his intelligence, but also his experience. And spending 4 hours with him on the course, I'll take that all day of the week. Tiger for sure. Um, that goes without saying. Um, and I'd probably say you got me on you got my golf brain on. Jack Nicklaus for me, just because those are arguably the one and two all-time greatest golfers in the world, and everything you said about like traveling different places, golf architecture, like design, all that type of stuff. Like, who better to explain that while you're on whatever course than those
Right.
two dudes?
Right. Exactly.
And me and Barack would go take their money. So that's about it.
That's a hell of a tag team.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something else you got going on. In 2019, it was the underrated tour, right? To
Mm-hmm.
to provide. I want to get it right, to provide training and exposure opportunities to, I think, three star high school, right? 3-star high school basketball players. How has that how is that going, first of all, and why and how did you start that?
It's going amazing. We're in our third tour now. We actually just finished our second stop in Dallas. We had a rough kind of patch like everybody did in the world with the pandemic. Our second tour season got cut short, but the idea kind of just sparked. So with Under Armour, I had my All American camp, select camp out in the Bay, probably 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, and it was amazing to see like the best high school athletes, in the country come and compete and get some exposure with me, kind of give them some of my knowledge and kind of build that experience out. About the third year, it kind of hit me. I was like, when I was in high school, I wouldn't have gotten invited to my own camp. Like, I know I got better and I'm in the league now and all this, but this is crazy. When I was 16, 17, 18, like I wouldn't have gotten invited to this camp. So this is cool. I want to maintain this, experience with, you know, the best of the best, the 5-star, the All Americans, but where are the kids that I use the term the next me, who was a 3-star, just looking for an opportunity, looking for any D1 scholarship, and just looking to get on the national map and get some exposure for recruiters and coaches who, I don't care if you're talking D1, D2, D3, like we all know basketball opens so many doors. You can just get that opportunity to get to the next level. So that's where the underrated tour, started. That was the idea that kind of sparked it. And, the first year we had 4 stops around the country, and we reached about 300 kids that year. And I think over the last 2.5 years, we're still brand new, still again on our third tour. We have over double-digit scholarship offers for 3-star recruits on both the men's and women's side coming out of the underrated tour. So
Wow.
it's amazing to know that it's starting to change lives and create opportunity. And last year we were able to position underrated as in terms of gender equity. We have both men and women the same amount of camp spots for each stop, and that was a huge upgrade from our first year. And it's been awesome. I think we get a lot of feedback from parents and kids who one, and just enjoy the experience and know that people are looking out for, not just the best of the best, but, the late bloomers or the ones that are kind of going under the radar. And, hopefully it continues to grow. The idea is hopefully to expand into other sports, then in the future. Obviously starting with basketball, but, it's dope to just know, like, I was a 3-star recruit when I was a senior in high school, and thankfully Davidson extended a scholarship, and the rest is history from there. So hopefully we can change some kids' lives.
Right, indeed. And you mentioned something about, I mean, first of all, the underrated tour is based off of your past experience in being a 3-star recruit. I know what it's like to be a 5-star recruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like to be the number one player, but I also know what it's like to play with other guys on my team who was less fortunate than I was, who wasn't even a 2-star. You know what I'm saying? But they still locked in. They grinded it out. You know, they made it. They made their own path, and they got their goal, which was to make it to college or get a free scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was it for you to stay locked in with that, knowing that, like you said, your senior year, you was a 3-star recruit? You know, I'm sure you went home at night some days and was like, man, look, ain't nobody coming to get me, man. Like, I'm gonna go back to golf, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, that was a thought for real.
I'm laughing, but I'm being serious about that too. It's like, how did you find it to stay locked in, even though all the odds was really against you?
It was just about being real with myself because, like you said, I had big dreams. I mean, my dad played in the NBA. Like, I got to see the vision, but I wasn't, this physically dominant combo guard coming out that was athletic and all that. Like, I was a late bloomer. I knew I could shoot. I knew I was skilled, but I didn't pass the eye test either. So a lot of it was just being real with myself, not doubting myself, but being real in terms of, okay, this whole time I want to be an ACC player growing up in Charlotte, Duke, Carolina, NC State, Wake Forest, all right there. Like, I want to be on that level. I went to a summer camp, AAU tournament and played in front of all those coaches. I was like, this is my time. Let's go. I thought I played well. Next 2 weeks, I'm asking my parents, yo, who's calling? This time when they couldn't call cell phones. I'm like, yo, who's anybody calling? They're like, nah, like, we're going to keep waiting, keep working. So I had to be real about, okay, that might not be in the bag for me, but it's exactly what we're trying to do with Underrated. Is like, I just want an opportunity. I know I have it in here in my heart. I know I work, and everything that I do, get on the court, I have to, I got to earn. Just give me an opportunity on the next level, and I'll take it from there. Just get me somewhere where I know that, one, a coach believes in me and is going to, spend time nurturing me on and off the court, no matter where it is. And thankfully, I had parents that kind of understood the game and could kind of, encourage that thought process instead of like, oh, all these coaches, they don't know what they talking about. You that type of dude, you this, you that. Like, yeah, they can instill confidence, but we have to be real about what the opportunity is, and that, I can't compare myself to the next person to my right or to my left. Like, my journey is my journey. And it was hard. It was hard to kind of believe it, but I stayed true to that mission. And once Coach Bob McKillop at Davidson, started coming to a couple open gyms, and it was like, hey, you're going to have an opportunity to play. We're going to play against the best in the country. You're going to get, that exposure. I believed it, and I believed him, and I believed what he was saying about me. And then I signed, and I went to school the next day. Like, yo, I'm going to Davis. And everybody was like, where? Who? Like, what is that?
But that was your ACC moment. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, on the inside and in your heart, that was your ACC moment. Forget what everybody else was talking about or saying. That was your moment. So you felt like, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So now you playing with the house money at this point in time. You just going in there, got to do what you got to do. And the landscape of, like you said, we didn't have the cell phones back then. Like, coaches couldn't call. Like, how had forget cell phones. When I came out, you was on AOL. You was on dial up. But how has the landscape, right, changed from when you back in 2009 to right now? And especially doing the Underrated tour. And like, what is your advice to the guys the guys and girls who are a part of the Underrated tour, who may be feeling the same way that you was feeling in high school?
Keeping it all the way 100, like, I feel bad for them to a certain extent, because everything that we just talked about, I kind of was in my own world, in my own silo. Like, yeah, I knew that there were other guys getting, recruiting letters and getting scholarship offers, but I didn't really see it in my face every day because there was no social media. I wasn't on Instagram,
Right.
Facebook, Twitter, all that. So for these kids now, like, that's difficult. That's hard to stay in your lane and stay on your journey and stay, true to your mission. Like I talk every time I go to a tour stop or, run into anybody who wants to ask that question. Like I try to, empathize with what they're going through, because you want to be, that guy, that girl, you want to be on that stage, on that map, and you see this every single day. You just turn on your phone, you're gonna see,
Yeah.
somebody you beat last week in a tournament. You're like, oh, I want to thank everybody for my scholarship offer from XYZ school. And it's like, that's hard. So I think it's big to set boundaries for yourself in terms of how you engage with social media. One, who you surround yourself with in your circle that's going to keep it real with you. But understand, like, you see Melo, you see myself, you see, the people that have made it to the bright stage in the NBA. That's the shiny object in the finished product. I wish I had a phone that could document every step of the way and can kind of play that reel and fast forward and know, like, all the bumps and the pains and the hurdles along the way that made us who we are. And that's something that it's going to happen over time. You just can't fall in love with what the finished product looks like, what your counterparts are doing or showing on social media every single day. And you got to work. Like, that's the biggest thing that I want kids to kind of understand and really appreciate. Because that's the joy. Like, who knows where the end goal is? I think Kobe said it. Like, the process and the journey is what makes you legendary. It's what makes you great. It's what you will remember when it's all said and done, no matter where you end up. So it's hard though. Like, that's the bottom line is, I'm glad I grew up when I did, and I just pray that this next generation can really handle a lot of the stress and anxiety and some of the things that come with the goodness of what social media is too, because we get to inspire and share parts of our story that we wouldn't have the opportunity to do otherwise.
Absolutely. And me personally, I think you're the right person to lead something like that. When you start talking about an underrated tour, like, you're the poster child for that. You know what I'm saying? So even if nothing happens or come from that with these kids, and they don't get a scholarship and they don't go to school or big time, whatever, they still have that in their mind. Like you said earlier, music and wine is the moments that we remember when we had a good bottle of wine and where we was at when that song came on. It's the same way with these kids. They see you was there, you created the fuck mind blank. The fucking the
The
tour.
tour, yeah, underrated tour, yeah.
The underrated tour. This wine, Racine's. The
Nah,
underrated the underrated tour, but
yeah.
you give these kids hope, man. You give them excitement. You give them, recognition. You admire them. They admire you. They get to feel you. They get to touch you. They get to speak to you. They get to talk to you. A lot of times, that's more than a scholarship, because they keep that forever. Scholarship, you get 3-4 years. That relationship in that moment, they keep that forever. So I wanted to just give you your flowers now because of that.
I appreciate that,
So
bro.
you speak. That's one spectrum. So now we go to a whole nother spectrum, right? Let's talk about the Olympics, right? Which just happened. What was your take on the Olympics, especially after the first early losses? They like, hey, everybody, you know how we do over here. You know what happens.
Absolutely. Everybody got to get the headline and got to talk shit behind the scenes. It's crazy because, like, us who knew, they didn't have three of the rotational players. They were playing in the finals. And it was such a unique experience. I've only played in the World Championships. I know you played on multiple Olympic teams, but that training camp is the best part about it. Like, you're in Vegas and you get to, I think you're in Vegas or Colorado, where you guys train. Like, everybody's coming to town. We're going to hoop. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to build a chemistry and a bond. The exhibition games we're supposed to win, but that's fun. But it's kind of like we're just past the time to get to the actual tournament. But that training camp is like the best part, because it's the first time you get to play with the best in the league in a different kind of setting and to really challenge yourself. And they didn't really get that opportunity with a full squad. And Brad, Bill, and it was Jeremy and Zach all had health and safety protocols during the process. So it's kind of an unfair shtick at the beginning. I'm sure they felt like they should have won those games no matter what, but it didn't happen. But that makes the end story even better, which is why I love KD and Draymond out there just roasting people.
so speaking on Draymond and KD, right? You played with Draymond, you've played with KD. How impressive was it to see him lead the way that he did? And he's been with us on past Olympic teams, so he was younger, but he also understood and he realized what it take to lead in that type of way with a group of guys like that, the ones that we had on those teams. And you can see that carry over to this team. Back up against the wall, they lose a couple games, everybody counting them out. You know how it's the KD slander. It's all of that shit comes into
all the worst parts
play.
of what we do. Yeah.
What do you have to say about him and the way that he led this, our U.S. Olympic team?
It's interesting because when I played in the 2010 World Championships, we were in Istanbul, Turkey, and I was just coming off my rookie year. I think he was finishing his third year, and I made the team, and I'm like kind of deer in the headlights because I'm just really trying to get my bearings as an NBA player. But then I go to the summer camp and
was
make
this
the
the
team.
2000? This was 2010.
2010
World
yeah.
Championship.
And like that was his coming out party for real. Like that was some of the best basketball I've ever seen on the international stage. Of like they got to do just a documentary just on that. 6-week period we were on, because he was still like the third-year player who was a number 2 pick in the draft, and there's a lot of hype around him, but he hadn't taken that step. And the summer was another stage for him to do that. It was crazy to watch him do what he did. So to kind of fast forward 11 years later, and just the way that you show up in international basketball, like it's a different vibe. It's hard to really explain because the difference between, in the NBA game and the international game, it's night and day, and it requires a different skill set and a different approach. And you're the closest to like a college basketball one and done tournament. Like you have to be on your game. So to watch him do what he did, especially with all the slander and all that type of stuff, I can't really say for him it really bothered him because we know how he is on. He knows everything that's being said, and he goes
Absolutely.
He ain't shying away from it, but. It's not like he was just waiting till the end.
He was. But, it was a build-up. It was a build-up.
But it's just dope to know, like that stage kind of brings a different side that most fans don't get to see, and you appreciate it when it's for your country. So it was fun to watch for sure. I wish the time difference it wasn't in the middle of the night, but hey, it was all right.
So, last question on Olympics: will we see you in Paris in 2024?
I mean, I hope so, bro. Like this year, I don't have any regrets about not playing. Just personally, it wasn't the right time, and knowing how everything went this year, and looking forward to next year. But it is only 3 years away, so
that's a long time now, champ. That's a long time.
I know. You see, I'm trying to speak. I'm trying to will it and speak it into existence.
That's a long time.
We'll see if these legs can do what they need to do, but that would be an amazing opportunity. I haven't played in the Olympics, and that's what made this kind of summer decision extremely difficult, knowing I hadn't had that opportunity. But yeah, we'd love to play if it makes sense.
Indeed. Before we wrap, man, we usually do like a little rapid fire, quick answer, quick question type of deal.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring it back to wine and kind of what's in your glass, and just bring it back full circle. What I'm gonna ask you doesn't have to be anything specific, no labels, no whatever. You just tell me what is your go-to, what's in your glass, or what is your go-to when you on, let's say, the Curry family vacation. What's your go-to?
That's a good question. I honestly like a good rosé. Usually if I'm on vacation, that means I'm somewhere hot and warm because I don't do the cold. So a good rosé. What's actually interesting? D-Wade's rosé. He sent some of that a couple of years. I really like their rosé. So
I had him on just the other day, and
Oh yeah,
his rosé is incredible. His Chablis is incredible. So I want to give a big shout out to D Wave for that.
absolutely.
What if you on date night with wifey?
Oh, I mean, a big bold cab. It doesn't. We're not exclusive to any certain label, but it is definitely going to be a
A
big
cab.
bold cab. We might break some pairing rules in that respect.
Oh,
Like it don't
you
matter
have
what
to. You have
you
first of all, you
have to.
have to. You have to. You have to.
That's a go-to though. That's like the family joke. Like no matter what, we got to eat, if we're on a date, whatever it is, it's the big bold cab. That's when you get the psalm over and be like, I just want a nice big bold cab. What you got?
Yeah,
And they
whatever you got, cause you
and
and you
we,
know he got the napkin on, cause that bottle heavy as hell, so you know he got the napkin on.
quick question on that. Knowing this sommelier kind of roadmap, and I'm sure you talked to a lot of them. Do they like that pressure, knowing if it's a novice all the way up to an expert to say like, I want y'all to lead me in a certain direction, or does that make them like a little
So
little
they would
iffy on
I
like
mean
I gotta get this right?
from my experience, they will want you to point them in some type of direction, because if not, they're gonna go off of what they know,
Their own
right?
palate,
And
yeah,
so right, so if it's like if they notice your first time, they're gonna recommend something for a first time drinker, right?
gotcha.
So it's the same. It's the same. You know your personnel. You know what I'm saying?
It's KYP, we need it, sir. Okay,
You know
okay.
your personnel. You know your personnel. Um, you celebrating a big win, not on the court, in business. You celebrating a big win in business.
Wait, does it have to stay with wine for this?
You could no, it ain't gotta be wine. It could be
Okay,
whatever.
we're taking a shot of tequila, and it's probably gonna be a Clase Azul or a Código, a little
Okay,
repo shot of repo.
okay, repo. So you ain't gonna do the ultra anejo.
That's got to be like we breaking the bank.
All right. What you're okay? Uh you celebrating NBA championship. You made your first NBA championship. What did you celebrate with?
I forget. I mean, it's obvious champagne. I don't remember what. When I got to the crib, we had our ace of spades on deck, and
Right, right. So
it
after the
was
ace of spades, what did you
after
have?
that. After the ace of spades, what did I have? You know what's funny? It was 2015. So I told you my timeline, right? My timeline from like 2016 and on. That's when I really started to get, I'll call it educated on what I was drinking. My pops, he loves some of that Crown Royal apple. Oh my god!
Yo,
I
but by the
I
way,
could tell.
Crown apple is not bad. It's not
It's not
bad.
bad. Nobody's
It's
saying
not
it's
bad.
bad.
It's
It's
not bad.
just it's probably not the first choice. Like I'm gonna celebrate something. That's kind of like the
With a
go-to.
crown
I'm gonna be.
apple. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had at the crib. Um, this is a really random story, and hopefully we can make the cut.
Oh, it's gonna make the cut.
In our living room, we had like the little dumbwaiter. So it's
Yep.
like a little thing with the shelf. You pull the rope, go from the
Yep.
first floor to second floor, whatever. We were doing our kitchen renovation at the time, a 2015 championship. So all of our liquor and wine not the wine, all the liquor was in the dumbwaiter just to hide it. So for some reason, we were all watching TV during the finals, and my pops fell asleep on the couch, but the couch is kind of like right behind me would be the dumbwaiter, right?
Right.
So all of a sudden, I think the weight of the liquor and all that kind of gave the dumbwaiter all it had. So all you hear is just bam, and my pops asleep. And the next thing is that's how you wake up out of sleep. Did the crown apple break?
That's how you know.
Bro,
That's how you know you're a real, true Crown Apple drinker. That's how you know that. You know that for sure. If he woke up out of his sleep and asked that out of everything that was in there, then you know that's his
oh,
baby, man.
it was phenomenal. I'll never forget that. So yeah, that was definitely a 2015 drink of choice.
Man, big shout out to Pops, man. Big shout out to Crown Apple, man. Steph, big shout out to you. I appreciate you, man, coming on What's in Your Glass, man. It's always been love, man, and you know the society and the business that we in. We got to compete against each other all the time, but we never have a chance to kind of just keep it a buck with each other. outside of basketball court, support one another, celebrate each other. So today, man, I just want to celebrate you, man, and just say thank you for everything you've done to the game. You changed the game in so many ways. What you doing, you know, with your tour, you know, what you doing with your show, Holy Moly, and what you doing with your family in the Domain Curry, man. So I just want to, I'm giving you your flowers now. Cheers.
Appreciate it, big fella.
Everybody,
Absolutely.
man, give it up for Steph Curry. All right, Steph, I appreciate you, brother. I'll see you soon, man.
Yes, sir. Welcome to California, by the way.
Love, love, love.
All day.
All right, baby.